Hello. Yeah, hi everyone. Hi Anisha. Hi Anisha. Welcome. So, did you all get a chance to work on that assignment? I think Rama, you shared that with me over the chat, a screenshot. Right. So, anyone, I mean, if you like to ask anything or showcase or share what you have created.
Amit, I have a question. Hello. Hello.
Yes, Rama.
Yeah, I have a question, Amit. Like Tableau, can we create bins in Power BI?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
It was in the grouping option only. I think if we might have not discussed it yesterday, I'll just show you that.
Okay.
Right? Like yesterday, I think when we were talking about the groups, so that group option same gives you the option of bins also. Like for example, let me make a chart over here. I want to see like how many transactions, right? How many transactions happen between 0 to 1000, 1000 to 2000, and likewise. So if you want to make bins on that sales field, you can make it. So just right click on that sales, and when you say new group, so what this will do is this is going to by default give you the option of bins only. So when you make some grouping on that numeric field, it becomes bins. So you see you get directly bins over here, and you are saying sales bins bin, and you are defining the bin size. So if you want to make it 500 or 1000, whatever value you want, you can decide that. You can put over here, and that's it.
In the weight cluster.
Right? I guess you would have been trying to make that chart, right? Number of people between the different age groups, 0 or 10 to 15.
Yes. So I was searching for this option. Yes.
So yep. So I think yesterday we were exploring some of the charts over here. So let's move forward today, right? So what we'll do today is basically, something that we're going to start off today is that is the data transformation. Okay. Just give me one moment.
Hello, Amit.
Yes.
Sorry for interrupting. Yesterday you were saying you're going to share the data sets. Did you share it anywhere else? Because I'm not seeing anything like that.
I shared it over here on that the Zoom chat. I shared it.
Oh, yesterday I was waiting, but I didn't see that you shared any data sets.
I shared it. Did you guys not get the data set yesterday?
The Excel document you are talking about, right?
At UK Bank customers file.
Yeah, we got that one in the Zoom.
CSV file. It's not an Excel file. So maybe you're using Excel as a data loader.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, try to use CSV, text CSV.
Okay, the Excel file. Yeah, I did receive that Excel file. I thought something else you were talking about. Okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Just 1 second, I'm just starting. One second. Oh, see, now, like up till the sessions that we had, right? So I think we had these 2 sessions that we had on the Power BI. So what we have learned in that is that how do we create the charts, how do we play with the hierarchies, right? How we can apply the slices. Now, those are the things that we have explored up till now. So, but what happens is like, in Power BI, Power BI basically gives you a lot of capabilities in terms of doing the transformation on your data as well, right? So when I talk about this transfer, when I talk about, the transformation of the data, so transformation means, like cleaning up your data, right? If you have some data with you, you want to clean it up, right? You want to tidy it up, tidy in the sense, you want to just arrange some columns here and there. You want to bring all the data into a more usable format and establishing relationships. So up till now, we were using one single data set, that was the orders. But, and also that data was more like structured data that we are having over here that we were using. But Power BI provides a lot of functionalities and a control in terms of doing some transformations if I want. So like, for example, you want to split the data, right? You want to merge the columns. You want to change the data types, right? You want to do the data modeling and all. So for all those things, you will find a lot of data transformation capabilities in the Power BI. So how this entire process starts is, so let me explain you. Okay. So now what happens over here is, once you load the data, right? Once your data is inside the Power BI. So how this entire journey will start is, if you see there's an option of transform data in the home tab. So please click on that and click on transform data now. So all of you, please click on the transform data. Right? So when you click on transform data, right? So what happens is there is a new window that gets open altogether. So there is previous window also that you have. And apart from that, there is new window that has opened up, a new layer. And this window is called as query editor. Okay, this we call it as query editor. You can see it over here, it's written also at the top, but this is Power Query Editor. Okay, now over here you will find all the options to do the transformations. But before we actually understand that, I would like to show you something over here. So let's try to get familiar with this window. On the left hand side, you will find the queries, right? You will find the name of the sheets that you're using. In the center, you have all the data. On the right hand side, you will find something called as applied steps. Now, what are these applied steps? Let's try to understand this. So, when you make your connection with the data source, when you all make the connection with the data source in the Power BI, so what happens is, so Power BI actually captures each and every step over here. Like first thing what you did over here was you connected with the source. So what was the source class over here? What is the source?
Data Excel.
Excel file, right? That Excel file is the source. So in that first step was we connected to that Excel. That Excel file was the source over here. So what has Power BI done is it has saved that file path. That where that file is saved, it has saved that file path over here. Okay. Then what you do is from that file, from that Excel file, what was the next step? You selected that sheet, right? You selected that next sheet. That order sheet, right? Because in that Excel, there were multiple sheets. Excel order sheet, returns sheet, and people sheet, I just selected what we have done is we have selected the orders sheet. That was navigation. After the data gets loaded in the Power BI, now Power BI itself has done some transformation, right? This is the automatic transformation that happened. So Power BI understood that the first row is not a data, it's a header. So it has promoted the headers. So Power BI has promoted the headers over here, right? After the headers are promoted, what Power BI did was Power BI assigned the data type to each column. There was a data type assigned to each column over here. And you can see this. Our data types are now assigned over here. Change type. Okay.
Hi, Amit. When you clicked promoted headers, it was showing the data type as 1, 2, 3 ABC for each and every header, right?
Yes.
And when you
Exactly.
clicked change type, it was showing the actual data types. So that one is to change the type or?
So this promoted headers was, if you will see over here, this step, the headers are defined. So like if you see up till navigation, the headers were not coming properly, right? I mean, headers are coming as a part of the data. So when I say promoted headers, at that time, this row ID, order date, they become the part of headers. So that was the step that is applied. So they become headers.
Okay.
And after, yeah. So after that, the data type is assigned.
So these things we have to do every time when we go for Power
No,
Query.
this is something that happened automatically. So because if you would have seen that when you were creating the charts, you were getting the proper column names.
Yes.
Right? You were getting the proper column names and the data types were already there. So these were so these transformations happened automatically in the Power BI when we loaded the data.
Okay.
So I was just trying to explain you that what are steps that we apply.
Okay. Okay.
Now, suppose after this you want to make some transformations now over here. So now the first thing is like when I talked about change type. Okay, now change type is Power BI assigned the data type by itself. Like this is numeric, this is character, this is date type. Right? So wherever you see 1, 2, 3 written, that is a numeric or a whole number. ABC means character, right? This means this is a date type. If you feel you want to change a data type, you can very easily do that. Just click on this icon, and you can change the data type from here. If you feel you want to convert it into a decimal number, you can do that. Now it gives you dialog box. So because we have changed the type, now it is asking, do you want to add a new step or do you want to replace the current one? So if I say add a new step, one more step will be added. In this step, what we have done is we have done a transformation that we change it into decimal. Okay. You want to undo that step, click on this cross sign and remove that step. So that way what will happen is that step will be undone. So you don't have Control Z option over here.
Hi, Amit. If we do change that data type for more than one header, then how can we revert it back?
So see, basically one way is like if you keep on changing that, you made a change over here. I change it to a decimal number and I add a new step. Right, then what you do is you come over here, suppose on the order date. This is you make it date time. What happens is in this step itself, the data types are now identified. So you don't change it back, you just come back and change it from here. Otherwise, what you'll have to do is if you make multiple changes in one go, you see over here there is a formula bar. So in this, you can see in this step that what you did was that you did table data transformation. The row ID you change it into number, and this order date you change it into date type. So that is where you will now have to make a change. if you have done multiple changes.
Okay. If I have
Like,
to revert, I have to do it manually, right? Okay.
Either you like, if you want, if you feel that, you know, like already you have changed it, it was not supposed, it has to be other one. You do it from here only, you come back again and change it again, right? Like this row ID, if I come back and I make it back a decimal number, so that's a ES step, right? So you say now replace the current, because if you make a change in the same data type again and again, it asks you, do you want to replace it? So right, like this is the same question that you were asking, that you want to change, you wanted to change it, you just say replace, so it will change it over there only. So you see now it has changed over here. Okay, so we will not even have to write something over there. Okay. So now what you do is, if you will see over here, you want to remove some columns, right? You want to remove some rows. You will find the options over here at the top for this. Suppose you feel that from this data that you are using, you want to remove certain rows. So you click on remove rows and you will find the options for that, right? Suppose you say remove top rows. What this will do is, it will give you an option that how many rows do you want to remove. Suppose I'm saying I want to remove top 10 rows. So you can do that. So you see a new step has been added. It is saying remove top rows. Okay. In the remove rows, you will find a lot of options, right? You want to remove the rows from the bottom. You want to remove alternate rows, duplicates, blank rows, add rows with error. So you have all these options, because sometimes when you load the data, your data might have some errors also. See, what happen is, when you load the data, so Power BI actually reads the first 1,000 rows. Power BI will read the top 1,000 rows and it will understand and it will define the data type of that. Okay, but if suppose after 1,000 rows there was some data that was different, so that can create some errors also in your data set. So that is where, if you feel that some errors are coming and you want to remove those rows, you can do that. Just click on remove rows with errors. Okay. Similarly, if you want to remove columns, you can do that. If there is any column that you feel that is not required, right, like row ID, if you want to remove that column, you can simply remove this column from here. So those columns can be removed. Then you have an option of split column, right? Split column means that you want to split the data, right? It's like text to column option that we have in the Excel. So if I say split column, I want to split it by delimiter or by number of characters. You will have all those options. If I say I want to split it by delimiter. So if I say that, now click OK. See, at every split of, after every hyphen, the data has got split. You want to undo it, you will have to delete this step if you want to undo that part. Okay. Now over here, you will also find the option of grouping your data, right? If you want to group your data, so you can do that as well. So like, for example, if you say group by, Okay, now it is asking how do you want to group. Suppose I say I want to group the data by country. And what do you want to see in that? So I'm saying I want to see the sum of sales. Okay, and I'm calling this new column as total. See, now this is something that you will be very rarely using. So if you group it, you will notice the data gets grouped over here. Now it is saying I am finding the total sales by country, correct? So I'm just grouping the data over here. So I've grouped it by country. If you want to group it by category, you can do that. You click on category, so data will be grouped by category. Okay. Are you able to try it out? This grouping. So see, grouping is required. Now if you will see all the steps that you do, if you now all the transformations that you are doing, if you click on close and apply, so what happens is all these transformations will be done. So if you modify this data over here, right? So now this is the data that will come as in the data view. That means this is the data that you want to use for making your charts. So grouping technically will reduce down your data and all your charts will go blank in that case. If you click on this. So right, I will not do it the grouping. I will just remove the grouping for now because I don't want to do that as of now. So you can remove this step if you want. So that is just a simple plain grouping option that you have. If you want to replace values, right? So you have the option of replace values as well. So replace is like in any column you want to do a replacement of a value. So like for example, the segment, right? In the segment consumer, you want to replace consumer with suppose consumer goods. So how you want to replace it? So you click on OK. So the options will be replaced with consumer goods.
Amar, is there an option like VLOOKUP and then delete the other rows?
VLOOKUP and delete other rows
as in like suppose I want to look up on a particular column and I only want certain rows based on that VLOOKUP. Rest other data I don't need.
How we can do it? So we will have to, so we have the option of merge queries. In that case, you combine the data. So you're saying you have the data in two data sets, right? Some data in data set 1 and another in data set 2.
Yes.
And you want to bring that data over there and then you want to delete the data. How we can do that?
You want to find one item in the other sheet and then delete the rest of the data.
We can do that. So now what you do is over here, right? Like you also have the option of filtration. See, like, you know, you cannot delete, like one thing I would like to tell you is that you cannot delete a point row. You cannot come and say that I want to delete a row where the customer name is, suppose you tell to me that the customer name is Zuckus. You want to delete this row. You can't delete this like this. So you have an option of filtering. You can say that, you know, you want to keep only, you want to remove the data of Adam. You want to remove the data of this. So you can do that, right? The data can be filtered out, but you cannot delete a row particularly that, okay, this row I want to delete. So when you want to remove the rows, you have just these 3 or 4 options. sheets. You can remove the top rows, bottom rows, or alternate rows, or the duplicates as well. But you cannot delete the you cannot delete the a specific row where what you mentioned over there.
So
Okay.
when we filter out an option, when we filter out some things and our data is ready, then if we close and apply, that will be the new data with which we will make charts, right?
That will
be the data with which we will make charts. That Zookas will not be available then.
So it will be just filtering it out, right?
Okay.
So that data will not be available. So it's as good as like that, only it is deleting it, so it's not bringing the data from that source. Okay. So please try this out, right? Filtering, you can try it out over here. So now what I'm doing is I'm just sharing a file with all of you, right? So I'm just sharing one file. So on the chat only.
Amit, I had one more question. So for the exercise, like you'd given, I created all the charts on separate sheets, but if you want to make a dashboard like in Tableau, there's no specific option of dashboard here, right? We just make it on one screen.
On one page only, because over here we were any which ways we were starting with that dashboard only, right? If you see when you make any report over here, so like that's a dashboard where you're placing all the charts together. So you don't need any because over there what you do is
charts in one page only.
Because over there you pick up the charts, you make the charts one by one on different sheets and you club them together. But over here you're doing it on the same page right away, so you don't need that option.
Okay.
Okay, so I've just shared a file with all of you, right? This file is shared.
Amit, if we save this query editor, it will be saved as a separate.
No, file only.
Okay, in
it's
the same
part of that same Power BI file.
Okay.
Done? Have you all downloaded that file? Okay. See now, first of all, before I start, I would like to open this file so that you can all get to know what this file is all about. See, I just opened this file over here. Now this file is exactly the same file, honestly, right? It's just that in this file, what we have done is I have given you some data of another region. So you will see only the region is changed. That there was, suppose, there was a new region that was started by the company, right? There was a new region that was opened by the company. And now that new region that was, that has opened. So that region manager, he shared his sales data in another file with you. He shared it that all the data in another Excel file. So if you see, the problem that with this Excel file is that the data is not cleaned, right? If you see, there are blank rows, there is some word data is coming, and then again there are some blank rows that you can see over here, right? So there are some troubles that you have with this file right now. Now, what I would like to do over here is that I would like to load this data, right? First thing is I would like to load this data in the Power BI. So all of you, please do this now. So from the query editor only, you can load the data also. If you come back to this query editor, over here, if you click on new source and click on Excel, just go to that path and select that file. Just select that file and load it. So I click on orders. So you see the data will not come in a proper way. You will see that preview that I'm seeing the data is coming in this fashion. So let me click on OK and let's load it. So you can see over here now this data. So let me call it as new region. This is a new region. So now I'm saying this data is loaded over here. Okay. So in the new region, you will see the data is not clear. So what we'll do is we'll do some transformations on it. So what transformations do I need to do on it? So I will start from, suppose that I will first remove the 2 blank rows. So how can I do it? I will say remove rows, remove blank rows. So there are 2 options, right? Either you can say remove top 2 rows or you can say remove blank rows. Okay. Now, similarly, what I can do is, you see the headers are not coming fine right now. So I will have to make my own headers. How can I do that? Here you will find the option of use first row as header. So if you click on this, your first row will be used as a header now. So you can see our data is now data is in a good shape. We have the headers coming as correct and everything over here now.
So the row which had just data written, that also got removed?
Sorry?
The row which had just data written, that also got removed through blank rows?
That was actually coming, so basically when you were loading the data in the Power BI. So what Power BI did was, Power BI took this row as a header. It had not loaded these 2 rows. So if you see over here, if you will come, there is a promoted header. In this, you see data is coming as a part of a header. Column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. So this was coming as a header. Power BI identified that as a header over there.
Header.
So, but then what we did was we said, let me remove the top blank rows. We said, let's remove the blank rows, and then we defined our own headers after that. So that is how it got corrected out. Okay. Once you make some changes, right, so just click on apply over here so that all the changes could be replicated in the file. So now the next thing that I'm going to do over here is, see, now the data is same, right? You look in the orders tab, we have the data of 4 regions, and now the another region is coming, and the new region is coming in a separate file. So if you have to make a report, don't you think it will make more sense that if we combine the data of two, right? That means append the data, putting one data below the another. All the data should come in one single file, right?
Yes.
If you had to do it in the SQL, how would you have achieved it?
Union.
Union, right? So we have this append queries option over here in Power BI. This is just like union only. So if you click on append queries, you will get two options: append queries and append queries as new. So if I say append queries as new, in that case, a new third table will be created where all the data will be combined. But if I say append queries, right, just click on the orders, click on the orders, and if you click on append queries, in this case, what will happen is we are now trying to say that in the orders only, in below orders, I want to bring the data of new region. So the data will be appended. So when the appending happens in Power BI, so please remember, Power BI appends the data by matching the column name. It is going to match column name to column name. So it will find row ID, below row ID, it will put row ID. It will find order ID, below order ID, it will put order ID. That is how this is how this the append works.
If a column name is not similar in the second table, then
That will create an additional column where you will get null values. For example, if you are over here, you had two columns, ID and age. So 1, 2, 3, 21, 22, 23. Another table was ID and age only, right? So something this is ID, age only 4, 5, 6, and 45, 46, 40. This is the data that you have. See, by default, it will put pick ID below ID and age below age. So even if the column sequence is different, doesn't matter because it matches the name, it matches the column name. But if suppose I am seeing this over here, it was ID was written as student ID. And in this it is ID. So what will happen is your output will be ID, student ID, and age, right? So all these IDs come over here. 1, 2, 3 will come over here, right? This age will come over here. Oh, sorry. This age will come over here. Now this SID will become null. Okay, now what will happen is you will pick this 4, 5, 6. This will come over here and the age will come over here. 45, 46, 47. And this will become null. So this is how the output will look. This is how the output will look if you combine the data with a column names are different.
okay. And then if we want to correct this, then using Power Query, can we do it?
Yeah, rename the column.
Rename the column in the new region data only. We rename the column.
Anywhere you do it, see, if you make it ID over here or you make it SID over here, it's the same thing.
No, I mean, can we do it in Power Query editor?
We can do it. So if you come over here in the Power Query, so you have that, just double click on the column name, you can rename it. Right now, just let me just right now append it. So when you double click on this, you can rename the column.
So before appending, you suggest we rename every column, like check the column names and append it. Sorry, and rename it, and then we do the appending.
So before appending, you check all the column names, are they matching or not? If anywhere the column name is different, you rename it and then you do it. Then you will able to do it. Append, you can also validate the data also after that, right? Once the append has happened, you can validate, right? Come on that column of region now and check it out if you are able to see all the regions, right? So east, central, south, north, new region, everything will be visible.
What is the difference between append query and append query as new?
So see, in the append, what has happened is in the orders only, below orders, the data got appended.
Yeah.
But if I would have done append queries as new, there would be a third table that will be created in which the data would have been combined.
Okay. The new table will be there.
Yep, done everyone. See, similarly, you also have an option of merging the queries, right? If you want to merge the data. So, right, if you want to merge data is like joins. You want to join something, that is the merge queries that you have. So what you do now over here is, let me click on this new source Excel, right? From that same sample superstore file, right? Now this time I will load the data of, suppose I will load the data of this file, this sheet, that is
returns.
People, maybe people or managers, we can do returns also. So right now, for example, if I pick up the people data, right, we have the manager, that who is the manager of which region. So let's load that data first. Then we'll load the returns also. Then I bring this people data, right. So we have a manager of each region. Okay, so data is not coming properly. So what I need to do is, I just need to say use first row as header, and there I go. Yeah, so you just shared your report. It looks very nice. The report that you shared, the screenshot of that.
Thanks.
Okay. See, now what I would like to do over here is in the orders file, what I want to do is, I want to bring the data of, suppose what I want to do is, I know that this is the region name. I have the region names, but in the orders tab, I want to bring the name of the manager, right? Who is the manager of West, East, South, Central, right? I want to bring the name of that manager now. So how can I get that thing is, I can use merge queries. So I will say merge queries. So again, over here also you will find two options, merge queries and merge queries as new. So if I click on merge queries, right? So in the merge queries, now what will happen is it gives you two tables, like orders, with which query do you want to merge? I want to merge it with people. I want to merge it with people. So please select that. So it's exactly like joins. So you have two tables, orders and people. So now what you do over here is, if I come over here now, I say that in the two tables, which is the common column, that is region. Region over here and region over here. These are the two common columns. Then it is asking which type of join do you want to have. So I am saying I want to make a, you want to make a left join, right join, full outer join. So you select the join from here. Which join do you want to have between the two tables? If you see now, it is giving you a message that these many rows are matching. So there is, why only selected rows are matching? What do you think? Which rows are not matching?
New region.
New region, right? So we don't have the manager name of new region right now. That is what it's saying. Only these many rows are matching, and certain rows are not matching right now. So that is why I'm using left join, so that I get all the data from the left table and matching data from the right table. So
and this fuzzy matching, is it the same as what we have in Alteryx? So fuzzy matching there is just to match how similar the data is.
Similar data, yes, yes.
So if it was, if the region and orders table, for example, was Western, and the people table was West, it would still match Anna Andreadi against West, right?
Correct, correct. So now you select the two columns and then you click on OK. So when you make that merge query, the entire table comes over here. The entire table has come up. So what you do is you select from this that you only want to bring the person name and you click OK. And there you go. So you have got all the person names over here.
Why did it give the whole table when we had selected region column?
So region was the common column. That what is the common column between the two?
Okay.
We were telling that the join has to be made on region. So then it brings the entire table, that whichever column do you want to keep from there, just select that.
Okay. Okay.
Then again, please close and apply these sections now.
Amit, for me, it is giving me as a table in the values. It's not giving me
the table. You will get that. Can you share your screen?
Yeah.
The table will come. Right now, click on that column on the right side. Yeah, the small icon. Yes, yes. So now you select which column do you want from this table. Suppose you want person. So uncheck region. No, we want person. So we want person, and we click OK. So is it coming? Okay. Do you have the data of new region? Can you scroll on the left side? Scroll on the left side.
I have new region.
First, you have new region.
Oh. This is the one, right?
But these are the. Can you click on the merge queries once?
Yeah.
Come on the right side where the steps are there. In the upright steps.
Yeah.
Click on that gear icon.
Okay.
Gear icon, yes. Actually, you have made the wrong. It is region to region. We have to join the region by
the person.
No, region and region above.
Oh, here also I have to select the region. Okay.
Now click OK. Because the common column is region between the two.
I thought only I have to select from the second table. So
just cancel this one. Just cancel this. Cancel this. Because you already have that next step, expanded. You see, expanded after that. No. In the applied steps. Yeah, click on this.
Close.
Click on this. Click on this. Yes. So you get it. Oh. Because that your expansion, you have already done it. Either you delete it and do it again, or you have just click it, so it automatically updates it. So that means if you refresh the data tomorrow, so it will automatically, all these steps will be applied again.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh. Then you all just click on close and apply. So all those steps will be applied, right? All the steps will be applied and your data will get updated according to that latest data.
Wherever there is null in the person, can we update it to like, let's say we know the name of the manager now of new.
You can use, so what you can do is you can use that replace values.
Okay, so we can replace null in that column with the new manager name.
So like if you come over here, so in this column, you can say replace values. I will say I want to replace null with Harry. Okay, so now you can check it out. So you have the Harry now, right? The nulls are replaced by Harry.
Thanks.
I'm getting an error message when I click on close and apply. Hello?
Okay. See, now if you come, you have some options of transform also, right? Transform is you want to. Hello.
Yes, I'm getting an error message when I click apply and close. So
can you share the screen?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm getting the same error.
So the reason is click on close. Click on the third option over here on the left hand side in the model view. Click on the model view on the left side. You see on the left side there are data view and below this, yes. Just right click on this line. This line you see there is line that is coming new region and this. Right click on this, delete it. And just scroll down a little bit. Scroll on the right side. Scroll up. Yeah, that's it. So now click on apply changes. Yeah, over here only. Okay, now it's done. So now if you see, you are not getting an error now.
So what was the issue here?
Actually, there was a relationship that was getting created. So relationship we have not discussed yet. So we will be talking on that, like what relationships are. So it's just like primary key, foreign key relationship.
Okay.
Amit, even after doing apply changes, still it was showing, errors for me.
Can you share your screen once?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can close this. Go on that third modeling pane.
Oh,
yes. Delete that relationship. You see this? No, don't click on this. First, delete the line. This line that you see between new region and orders. Yeah, right click on this. Delete it. Now apply changes.
No, before coming to this page, when I was, saving the changes in query editor also, it was giving errors.
Now it will not give, so it's done now. So if you see
Okay,
now,
so
if you
I can't, when I was saving that one, it was giving the error. So before saving there, I have to come to this page and do these changes.
so this is, there was a reason, because there was a relationship that we didn't want it, that was getting created, which was creating a many-to-many relationship between the tables. So relationship we have not discussed yet. What are they? I'll be telling you that. Okay, so you will get an idea like why it was going wrong.
Okay, so is it good every time to save the query editor first and then, this one, or we can just close the query editor directly without saving?
No. So, okay, you saved it from here, like this.
Yes,
option.
yes. Yeah.
So you save it from here or you don't save it, that's the same thing. Ultimately, what we do is we save the main file only. So when you save the main file, everything gets saved.
Without saving that query editor, if I close that, I won't be saving the data, right?
No, data will be saved. So like you don't need to save that query editor. Like for example,
It needs to do close and apply, right?
You just have to close and apply. You just have to close and apply the changes. So once you have applied those changes, right, like close and apply, you have done it. Then what you do is you just close that window. Then that window gets automatically closed also. So if you see now
there only I was getting that error, the one which I about the primary key.
This query editor is a sheet of this file only. This Power BI file that I have. So when you click on the transform data, so that query editor opens up. So it's a part of this Power BI file only. So this query editor and the Power BI file, they are connected to each other. Okay, like all the data you can see it over here, that these are the sheets. So what you are saying is that when you clicked on close and apply, you got that error, correct?
Yes.
Right. So when you click on close and apply, so that error was coming on this main file, the same file only. And that was coming because in the relationship view, right, you have multiple tables now, right? So you had the tables. So in your case, what happened was the relationship got created between this table and this table. The relationship got created, right, which you deleted manually right now.
Yes.
So because this relationship was created, due to which the query editor was giving you an error that it is not able to combine the data because of some relationship that is there between these two tables. So in order to rectify that error, what I did was I asked you to delete this relationship so that you can actually append those data and those errors can go up. That error can go away. So that is why you have to click on again apply changes. Because in query editor, what happens is the moment you get any error, in query editor, your query editor stops. It means that due to that error, it could not apply the changes, right? So it stopped. So it was giving you a message at the top: apply changes, apply changes. That means rectify the error and then again apply the changes so that it can correct it.
Okay. So now we deleted this relationship. That means the append will change, or
no, nothing will change. All the now it was creating actually a problem in doing that. So now it is working properly with this.
Okay.
So now what we'll do is we will again go back to the transform data again. Once more, let's go to the transform data. And you can see this, right? 16.2. This is the name of the file and the query editor. So if you now come over here, you will find some option of transform and add column also. See, transform means when you want to do the transformation of the existing column itself, right? The column that you have, you want to make some transformations on that. So like, for example, there is a column like sales column. You have a column of sales. What you want to do is you want to, apply some formatting, right? You want to clean this, or you want to standardize this. You want to multiply this column of sales by, 10. You want to multiply it by 10. So just giving a random example over here. So you click on this, the complete column will be multiplied by 10. So you can do that, right? You want to basically, you want to again divide by 10. You can choose divide 10. So these are some transformations that you can do from here, from the transform option. You want to add a column, you can click on add column, and you can add some columns also. In the add column also, you will find similar options. right? Suppose you want to add a conditional column. So I want you all to try this. So click on conditional column. It's like a if condition. So you want to add a new column, like suppose sales group. I'm making a sales group where I'm saying if the sales are greater than, if the sale is greater than 500, I want to call it as good. Add a clause. Else if sales is greater than 300, I want to call it as okay. Else I want to call it as bad, right? So if the sale was more than 500, I'm calling it as good. If it is between 3 to 500, I'm calling it as okay. Otherwise, I'm calling it as bad.
No wonder Power BI is taking up Tableau market. This is so easy. Like it's literally giving you the query,
Like
right?
this, so it does most of the things for you. Right?
Yeah. And the fuzzy match is a great option.
Yep. So you can match the data, and you can in that you can also define with how much accuracy you want that fuzzy match to happen.
Yeah, I was about to ask you that. Does it ask you the percentage of how much match you want?
So we have that option over here
Okay.
to define that accuracy. I'll show you an example also.
That is an amazing option.
Okay. So you have added this column. I hope you are able to do it. Similarly, you have an option if you want to duplicate a column, right? You can just click on duplicate. The column will get duplicated. So you get a copy of that column, something which you will not be using much. You want to add an index column, right? Index column is like when you want to add a column like numbering. So if you say you want to add a column starting numbering from 1, it will just add that index column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever the number of rows are, you will get all those information. You see so much of transformations we have done on this table now, appending, merging, and all this stuff. So the idea is, these steps are like when you refresh the data, so Power BI applies the same steps on that refresh. When you will refresh the data, so it will apply these steps one by one on that new data that you will be refreshing. Uh, then what you can do is you can just click on again home, close and apply, and you will be back to that same window. Okay. Just give me 2 minutes, right? In the meantime, you just try to make 1 or 2 charts. I'll just be back in 2 to 3 minutes, right? Just Hello. Yeah, here. So, did you all make this charge on this? So, I think the data source setting is like if you come over here, if you want to change the source destination, right? Like if you have multiple files in this, okay, you feel that the path of some file has changed. So you can click and you can click on this, the change source, and you can bring that file from there, whatever you want, right? So that is how you can use this data source settings. Okay, you want to export the data set, so you can export it in the form of PBI data source files. So it will be extracted in the Power BI format if you want. You can edit the permissions on this, right? So like privacy level, if this data is something organizational level data, right? So you can apply that organizational settings on this. So what will happen is the data, you will not be able to use it outside that your organization. So that ID domain, it will not go outside that. So this is how you can change some permissions on that.
So by
Okay.
export PBIDS means whatever data we are using in this report will get exported to our computer?
No, it will just be, I mean, see, data is coming from your computer only, any which way, right? That is the Excel file. So we are just saving it in the form of PBI data source file format. So like you have these PBI data sets. If you click on this over here, you can pull the data from there also in the Power BI dataset format. So that is what that we mean by this.
Okay. And when you mean change data source means whatever, so the data source which we have, right, the file which we have, it will remove this file and get the new file.
No, because sometimes it happens that suppose like if you now refresh this file, if you will refresh this file, what the Power BI will do is it is going to hit the main Excel files from where it was created. Correct? Like, the files that I'm using over here, they are in this folder, Infosys folder. I have all these files over here. Now, if I will refresh the Power BI file, so what Power BI will do is it is going to hit that Infosys folder and refresh all the data. Correct, everyone? So if you can also try this out, right? So for example, if you open any of the Excel files from where you have loaded the data, you can just open that up. And in that, try to add some data at the last. If you will add some more data in the last, right? Like for example, let me just make some copy and let me add new region 2. See, I'm adding new region 2 just for the identification. And I save this file. So if you make any change in your existing Excel file from where the Power BI was created, you just refresh the data, right? If you just click on refresh, what Power BI will do is it will do all the steps again. And now you will see new region 2 will also be visible over here. All that is refreshed. So if I show you the data set now in the orders where all that append had happened, see, new region is also coming, new region 2 is also coming. As simple as that, all the refresh has happened. Sometimes it can happen that you say that, okay, Amit, this file from where we were, the folder where that file was placed, you say that, that folder has changed now. You have placed that file in some another folder now. But Power BI is any which way is going to always hit this folder because while creating that file, while creating that report, you had said that the file is placed in this location. So that is where what we do is, if you feel that the folder path has changed somehow, you come over here and you say, okay, let me change the folder path. Use the data source settings. The file is now not at this folder. It is at some another path. So you change that path.
And all the charts which are there in the report will get automatically updated because it is the same file, but it's at a different path.
Yes, everything will be refreshed. The file is same. The folder path is different.
Okay.
That's okay. So next time if you will refresh, now it will hit the new path.
Okay. Thanks.
Yes. Others, Anusha, Harsha, Maria, are you all clear on this? Rama, Karan?
Yes.
Okay. So this is, what we have in the context of transformations now. So I think this is where I'll take a pause for today, right? So tomorrow what we will be doing is we will be starting off with data modeling, right? So we will see how do we do the data modeling, and then we will be starting off with the DAX, data analysis expressions. Okay. So some of you have not used that, who have not worked on that, the UK Bank file. Please work on that and share those assignments with me. And in the meantime, today I will put a new assignment also on the Google Classroom. Okay. So anything you would like to discuss before we move out? I hope
there was one question. So in the UK report, when we did it in Tableau, we had this option, or when we were doing the job classification, it was coming as 3 bubbles, and just the name of that bubble, like blue collar, white collar, or other, and it was showing the count. So I don't see such a visual here in Power BI. So we can use any visual, right?
So in Power BI you also have a feature of importing the visuals. I can import a visual also. There are a lot of visuals outside this domain which are available on the Microsoft Gallery. So I can download from there. Okay. That visual is available. That is called as bubble chart. So it is available in the Power BI also. So
I'll just do import visual, get more visuals.
Basically, get more visuals. So it will ask for a sign in, right? You need an account for that. So just come over here. So for this now we need an account. So for that account we need a official ID. If you don't have an office ID, I'll guide you how you can make this account.
Okay. Or I can use some other visual.
No, I mean you can use it, but I just want to show you that also, that you can make a map, or you simply click on this get more visuals. So what happens is it opens that app source, right? So you will find hundreds of charts over here as well. So what you do is you simply, whatever chart you want to make, is like bubble chart you want to make. See, I get this bubble chart. So there are a lot of bubble charts, packed bubble chart and all. You simply
free of cost.
Free of cost. So you add it, the chart will come in this. Right? So you see the chart has come up. Now you can make it.
Okay.
So you click on this and the chart will come up. Category, suppose. Right. And value sales. Okay, the same chart.
Oh, nice. Yeah, this is the same. Okay.
A lot of stuff, right? We will be discussing. So it's just like 3 days. We will be spending a lot more time. You will get all that hang of this.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
So we have class tomorrow, right?
So tomorrow, tomorrow is Friday, right? So we'll give it on Monday only, right? So we'll do this on Monday.
Okay.